Oh boy, time now for another exciting episode of Mr Nailsin Sunday Comics. And once again, our favorite, Blue Beetle. So here he is, fighting the praying mantis man. Look at that. He's attacking Blue Beetle with his green ray while he's humping a tree in front of the Beetle's girlfriend, I guess. Run, White-Eater! I can't stop this thing! Has the mighty Blue Beetle finally met his match in the terrible praying mantis man? Shouldn't that be with an E? Are these insects religious? Is that what they're saying? Anyway, but first, our sponsor. Learn radio, TV, electronics, automation by practicing at home in your spare time. Thousands of ambitious men gained access with NRI training. Access to radio and television? Make $3 to $5 an hour, starting soon. So you can make $3 to $5 an hour. Great. You'll learn electronics or something. Anyway, oh wow, look at all this cool crap you can get. It's 1,001 things that you can get free. All you got to do is send, well, it looks like everything costs $1, so it's not really free. Hot iron transfers. Oh, look, an eagle and a skull. Awesome. Monster and weirdo labels. I guess it's stickers. Look at that dude. Huh. Anyway, 50 bike decals only for $1. Well, that's nice. Magic tricks. Yeah, you'll be the talk of the town. 300 crazy signs for $1. Kick me. Goodbye, cruel world. Oh, well, if you're feeling like that. Oh, look, he's flushing himself down the toilet. Wolf Patrol. Whatever. Rat, Fink, and Weirdo decals. A lot of decals. Comic felt patches. Hothead. Well, what are you doing? Don't delay. Order your special crap today. For, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, $6.50. So there you go. You can see dollar bargains, P.O. Box 120, 1225. What's the CH for? Newark 1, New Jersey. So there you go. You've no excuse. You know what? Oh, and for the other one, Wisconsin Avenue, Washington, D.C. for learning how to work in electronics, and you can have a high-paying job of $3 to $5 an hour. Pretty cool. Well, anyway, now to our feature presentation. The Praying Mantis Man. In this land of giants, a foot-long mosquitoes, spiders as big as a man, big as a manhole cover? Okay, as big as a man. Anyway, and rats capable of killing men. The Blue Beetle should have been prepared for the biggest monster of them all, a praying mantis as big as himself. A mantis whose armor, like skin, seemed impervious to the weapons of man. A mantis that could attack and destroy. Blue Beetle. And he's just disturbingly staring at this green dude, while Juanita here is really disgusted. Anyway, Dr. Dan Garrett, archaeologist and chemist. Yeah, he's no longer a rookie police officer. He went to college and got his archaeology degree. And chemistry. And a broken nose? I don't know. Anyway, Hunter Man, eminent naturalist who worked so long with plants and chlorophyll that he gradually became greenish in color. Not just greenish. He's green. Well, his ear's a little yellow, but and that's what disgusts her. Ew, he's got a yellow ear. Ew, ew, ew. Juanita Rivera, Mexican entomologist who thought she knew about insects. Well, she's an entomologist, but I guess she was going to learn something new in this story. Run, Juanita! Try to get out of Death Canyon. I don't know why you came to Death Canyon. I mean, it's clearly named Death Canyon, but anyway. What a stupid outfit. I mean, the comic book costumes are silly, but good Lord, this guy tried to outdo it all, Anyway, in his laboratory, Dr. Garrett frequently was asked to solve problems in many fields. For in addition to archaeology, his specialty, Dan Garrett was also qualified in chemistry, physics, and allied fields. He's a jack of all trade when it comes to science. I'm delighted to meet you, Miss Rivera. I was intrigued by your paper on aphids and ticks in the subtropical North American continent. Thank you, Dr. Dan Garrett. Your own contribution on plant aphids helped me immeasurably. I came for assistance, Dr. Garrett. I have a problem and no way to solve it. Oh, yeah. Sheep are dying in Baja, California, Dr. Garrett. No one has been able to pinpoint the reason why, except all agree they are singularly lacking in blood when death occurs. Well, I'm no veterinarian, but I would guess that blood's a necessary part of life. It's best to have it than not. There are no wounds, but I did discover swellings that looked like insect bites. Uh-huh. I wonder what color panties she's wearing. Parasitic insects could certainly cause death, Miss Rivera. Continue. These bites are so big that it's inconceivable for any insect to attain that size. I am an entomologist, and never in my studies of insects have I encountered one large enough to do this. Oh. Well, then what are you asking me for? Baja, California. Beautiful country at this time of year. If I don't waste time, I can gather my equipment together and be airborne by noon. I'll use my plane, of course. Will you fly back with me, Miss Rivera? By mid-afternoon, Dr. Dan Garrett's twin jet was well on the way. So he's got his own jet. But he's like an archaeology professor. How much do they make? Well, we'll land near Santa Rosalia. I don't know. My charts indicate an airfield there. I hope so. Anyway, I usually fly with a co-pilot who assists me in my work, but he's away just now. I'm glad, Dr. Garrett. I'd much rather sit up here and back with all that equipment. Yeah. You'd better start calling me Dan, and I'll call you Juanita. We'll be working together for some time to come. After landing, Juanita recruited local labor to offload the plane, and she rented a Land Rover and 2 trucks for their equipment. Boy, they're just swimming in the money, huh? We are nearly at the field station of the government technicians, Dan. Around us on these hills are thousands of grazing sheep. Okay, well, anyway, good grief, what in the assholes? Quadromaculatus? But a mutation. A giant. Well, yeah. Well, anyway, back to our sponsor. Look, you can get live seahorses. Only $1 each from Florida Seahorse Company. Well, all right. 50 shelled treasures. See? It's a bunch of seashells. Hey, are you nervous around girls because you just have 2 left feet or whatever the hell? So don't worry. All you got to do is sign up for some dance lessons, and you can learn them fast for only $1. Yeah. Darling pet monkey. Oh, this squirrel monkey, half squirrel, is just the perfect companion. Easy to clean up because he'll poop in your hand and you can quickly get rid of it. Oh my goodness. And it won't grow big enough to rip off your nutsack or your face. So, great little adorable pet. All right, look, you've always wanted to play war. Now you can with a water gun that looks like a machine gun. And it's only for $1. Hey, everyone's going to think I peed my pants. Ha ha. Meanwhile, for the real fight, get a secret weapon tank that shoots jets of water. And toy bullets. All right, well, okay, and only 50 cents, so pretty good deal. Marine Commando camouflage paint. Used in Korea, World War II. Makes you almost invisible. So all you need is that paint. And then you can sneak up on your neighbor while she's in the shower. And she'll never know you're there while you look at her. Yeah. So anyway, you get all this crap from Novel Gifts. It's in New York or whatever. So there you go. Don't stop. Get your, seahorses, monkey, and invisible paint today. All right, back to our story. Zoom goes the mosquito. Look out, Dan. I never thought I'd have to do this. Breaking the Land Rover. Breaking the Land Rover. Dan Garrett fired twice. Well, that's 1, 2, 3. He fired 3 times. Missed. There were 2 others, but the noise frightened them away. There's your explanation for the sheep dead from loss of blood. Assholes, mosquitoes, live on blood. They're feeding on sheep. At the government station, Dr. Garrett was introduced to Mexican field workers. And you both saw an asshole quadrimaculus clearly? 12 inches long? Juanita, you are a trained entomologist. We saw it all right, Professor Ibor. I guess, I don't know. Now, it only remains to ascertain what agency has inspired such mutations. I do not believe these specimens occurred naturally. No, Dan. No Mexican scientist would be irresponsible enough to create a giant strain of mosquitoes deliberately. Yeah, what she said. Miss Rivera is right, Dr. Garrett. Besides, I know all the entomologists and fellow scientists in our part of the world. I would be aware of experiments being performed in this field. We're not so far south of the border. The man responsible could be an American. During the night, flocks of mosquitoes tried to enter the building, and one got into Dan Garrett's room. Do you need assistance, Dan? Stay out! I'll have a specimen to examine in only a moment. The truth is, I can't let her come in here after those massive farts I ripped. God, the room stinks. Anyway, excellent. Perhaps now we can tell what caused the accelerated growth. 30 minutes later, as you indicated, Juanita, a chlorophyll compound is present in the cellular structure. How horrible. Mankind will perish if insects can be made to grow to sizes this big. Well, they can. You've seen several of them. So, whatever. The mosquitoes killed sheep and other mammals in the mountainous region near the station. Dr. Dan Garrett could do little, so he sought a quiet place and invoked the powers of the blue scarab from the tomb of the ancient pharaoh. The words are Kajida, and became in that instant, the blue beetle, prowling the mountains seeking the mosquitoes, using the great powers bestowed by the wise ancients to destroy evil. Zap. Got one. What's that? A streak of light. Can't make out what's making it. Miles high, Blue Beetle surveyed the world beneath. His super keen eyes scanned the mountain ranges and valleys, and he saw the pattern of giant mosquitoes stretching north to the border to a canyon in California. That one canyon stretches back into the mountains. Dense vegetation covers what's in there, and there is an estate at the lower end of the canyon with several buildings. We'll just have to take his word for it. I don't see Jack Squaw. I still don't see it. But anyway, Blue Beetle headed down toward that canyon. Okay. And seconds later was seeing the giant mosquitoes. He let one alight on his arm to get a closer look at it. And then it bit him and turned him into a mosquito, or what? It took a healthy wallop to end the career of that pest. Then Blue Beetle turned, a snake lurked near, and it struck. Macurus erizanthus, coral snake as big as a constrictor. Enough poison to kill an army, but not enough to hurt me any. Ew! Right in the nose. This was a canyon where death had come to live, ironically enough. Every fatal species of plant, insect, and animal was present, but tremendously large. And there was one other creature on hand which the Blue Beetle did not see at all. Well, because his back is turned, you know. Oh, no. It's a giant rat, too. Oh, man. He's going to be surprised when he sees me. Yeah, I would say so. Well, that's into part 1. Now we got to stay tuned for the Chlorophyll Man. I thought he was the praying mantis. Yeah, I didn't write it. In the meantime, let's take a look at the silent world. This is man's century of exploring new frontiers. Space, and the polar caps, and the deep ranges of the great oceans. Man had let the fishes have the sea, until the first diving suits were developed in this century. But still, only a few hardy souls ventured down to the ocean floor. Then, new diving techniques were developed. Scuba diving came along. The frogmen in the walls of man went to new depths. Battles were fought between men, where only a short time before men had feared to venture. And they just couldn't come up with anything else to fill up the space here. So, I don't know, there's two guys fighting and their knives are kind of obscured here. But that's what they're doing. What's that on the back of his head? Is that? Oh, that's the hammer and sickle, so he's a commie. Anyway, the day isn't far off. In fact, experimental undersea dwellings are here already, when cities will exist on the ocean floor, and man will probe for oil and minerals beneath the sea bottom. And the fish don't seem happy about it, but all right then, any day now. Yeah. Gonna be living under the sea in an octopus's garden in the shade. Pum, pum, pum. The Chlorophyll Man, Chapter 2. Suddenly, Blue Beetle looked upward and saw the giant praying mantis hovering overhead. A sickening weakness struck, so akin to fear, that the Blue Beetle thought his courage had gone. Then he realized it was a strange weapon possessed by this terrible insect. What is happening to me? The eyes of the creature, they emit light, and the light is sapping my strength. Bzz, 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 bzz. Summoning all his willpower, calling upon the great powers of the ancient pharaohs, Blue Beetle propelled himself higher and hurled pure power at the giant creature. Kajida!
Ow, that hurt.
Well, the Mantis seemed hurt, yeah. But Blue Beetle was still weak, and he landed in a clearing to recover his strength. Phew, that was close. Don't know if I could have carried on much longer. What's happening? It's trying to drag me toward the trunk. Well, I've had enough of that, so he just flies away, so I guess it wasn't that much of a threat. Anyway, the buildings near the canyon mouth were large and fairly new. As soon as Blue Beetle saw the name over the lab door, he knew it. Hunter Man! Of course! A great naturalist who has developed hardier species of grain and fruits. I believe he's interested in entomology as well, and animal breeding. Yeah, it's just these jack of trades all over the place, you know. Reverting to the identity of Dr. Dan Garrett, he entered the building. Hunter Man was present, his skin as green as new grass. Mr. Hunter Man, I am Dr. Dan Garrett. I have read a great deal of your articles and seen much of the products of your research.
Garrett, Dr. Dan Garrett, you are an archaeologist, I believe. I, too, have heard of you. Sir, may I be of service? If not, I am quite busy, as you can see.
You seem to be distilling a chlorophyll compound, Mr. Man.
It is chlorophyll, Dr. Garrett. I have accomplished wonders with this pigment.
With xanthophyll and keratin cellular growth, it's stimulated. And, yes, please continue, Mr. Man.
I've said enough, sir. Now, the meeting is terminated. Please leave my property, Dr. Garrett. If you get too curious, Dr. Garrett, it might be fatal. There are insects and reptiles on the grounds which are hostile to Homo
sapiens. Creatures such as Tenotera sensis, the praying mantis of Asia. Again, the religious mantis? I don't know. For a moment, Dan Garrett felt the baleful eyes of Hunter Man locked on his. This is getting creepy. And imagined he felt the same weakness which he encountered when the giant mantis had almost taken his life.
You had best leave, Dr. Garrett. It is your final opportunity, and it is given only because of your excellent work. Go, while you still can.
For a moment, my brain went numb, and I was almost too weak to walk out of there. What a strange creature. Hearing a strange vibrating noise, the archaeologist wheeled and saw the giant mantis rising from the laboratory roof. The giant mantis! It was in man's laboratory all the time. I wonder... Hiding until the great praying mantis was out of sight, Dr. Dan Garrett rubbed the jeweled blue scarab, said Kajida, and became Blue Beetle. I've got to reach Juanita and warn her. There are worse things than giant mosquitoes in the air. Well, that's the end of Chapter 2. Wonder what happens in Chapter 3. Oh, it'll be the Garden of the Crawling Death. Well, you ought to be able to outrun that. I mean, it's crawling. So, is this it? I don't know. Anyway, look at that insect. It's giant praying mantis. It must be more than 6 feet tall. Luis, your magnum rifle. Luis Veloz had a hunting rifle and was a crack shot. That great insect, if that's what it was near its victim when Veloz fired. A Again, Luis. Bzz, 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 bzz. The mysterious ray lanced out, and then the praying mantis man zoomed aloft. At supersonic speed, it jetted back toward the garden of crawling death. Okay. Well, better late than never, I guess. But anyway, from far away, he saw the unconscious girl. Another insect, a blue beetle, perhaps? Exactly. Landing behind a cluster of rocks, Blue Beetle transformed back into the guise of Dr. Dan Garrett in a split second. Juanita, are you all right?
Dan, I was so afraid for you. I thought the giant insect had taken your life. Dan, did you see it? A praying mantis. A mantis. But it wasn't exactly.
Yes, let me check your breast to make sure there's no injuries. Yes. It's good. I know, Juanita. It really isn't a giant praying mantis at all. It's a man with a costume, but he's got strange powers. By the way, while you're down there,
we've got to find it.
We've got to find it and end his evil plans, Juanita. Will you trust me? I can take you to the place where this evil was conceived. We must destroy the work a naturalist named Hunter Man has developed. New and terrible mutations which endanger all mankind.
Yes, Dan. I trust you.
Well, they stepped behind the rocks. Dan Garrett gently closed her eyes, and she waited trustfully.
When can I open my eyes, Dan?
Dan Garrett isn't here, but you can look now.
Okay, this is all kinky, but it's exciting, so.
Down there is the border between Mexico and the United States. And just north of the border is the Garden of Crawling Death. It's Hunter Man's little playpen. Here we are.
It better be solid ground.
Oh, it's a giant spider. Anyway,
A particularly loathsome spirit. He's absolutely deadly, even in normal size.
I'll fix that fellow. But the deadly, crawling, creeping, hopping, flying killers were everywhere, and even an entomologist, a person who studies insects like Juanita Rivera, couldn't cope. Juanita, there it is, the Mantis Man. Get back. He's coming after me. Oh no, what happens next? Well, of course, Chapter 4, The Mantis and the Beetle. But first, the outpost. In 1952, I was manning an outpost in Korea. It was cold and wet, and the Chinese communists had been howling madmen in the hills for days. They're out there waiting. Let 'em come. I scrounged a small flamethrower, a grease gun, a bazooka, and a dozen grenades. While I was sitting in that half-frozen muck overhead, a strange vehicle whispered quietly over the Korean ridges. The probability of encountering anyone in this wasteland is remote, Jitty. You may land. Well, I saw a UFO. No living Earth creatures in this vicinity, Jitty. I was right. Our superiors will commend us for this. We have found an ideal planet to colonize. Our surplus population can migrate here. I watched the big saucer coming into land. At first, I was scared stiff. But that moment the commies had attacked, I had been outnumbered about 50-1. And I was still in one piece, so being scared was sort of getting boring, and I forgot fear in a minute. One round from the bazooka ought to shake them up a little. Correct the last observation, Jitty. There are living creatures present, but our computers indicate man is not dangerous. So a second ago, you were convinced there was no creatures on the planet. Now, not only do you realize there are, but you know they're called man. The Chinese commies must have thought this was one of their new weapons, so they attacked in their usual style, beating drums and blowing bugles. You know, it's just what they do. Well, I saw the commies attack. It was the first time I'd had a clear shot at them in days, so I opened up with the grease gun. Our tacticians failed to predict this unfavorable reaction. Send a message to the chief. We have encountered an unexpectedly hostile atmosphere on this planet. We earnestly recommend choosing another planet to colonize. Take off, jitty, butta, pal. The commies gaped, upward after the rising object, unable to believe their eyes. I had a clear shot at them. They forgot about the war. I won't get a chance like this again. Only a rat would shoot right now. So I'm a rat, right? So, he slaughtered him because they weren't looking. Thanks to that flying saucer or whatever. Hey, look, it's a pin-up picture of Blue Beetle. To all my friends, the Blue Beetle. So, are you a friend of Blue Beetle? Well, if you are, this is for you. Yeah. Okay, back to our main feature presentation story. The Mantis and the Beetle. The Mantis, in natural state, the predator which preys, see, you did know how to spell it, on the rest of the insect world, swooped low for the Beetle. Close your eyes, Juanita. No matter what happens, don't look at this creature. His, it's falling out through a hole in his pants. Bzz, 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 bzz. Blue Beetle didn't see it fall, but Mantis had used the device developed by ordinary man, the grenade. Okay, well. Blue Beetle was shaken by the blast, but he wasn't helpless, and when the praying Mantis came back to finish him, he was ready. Well, the Mantis man was stunned for a moment. Blue Beetle prepared to end it when suddenly Juanita Rivera's scream rang out. Blue Beetle, help me. Poor lizard. He didn't mean it. A mutation of the rodent family, a rat, hissed and darted toward them. Like all rats, starved for food. Beware, Blue Beetle. A bite from that rat might be fatal. Oh, now you tell me. Well, let me just punch him in the nose. Bzz, bzz. Come on, I've had enough of this place. Come on. When I get hold of that unnatural naturalist, I'll mutate his molecules. The Mantis man was out of costume in his laboratory, mixing up a batch of his most potent elixir. The fools, they dared to interfere. I will destroy them both. Well, all right then. You wait. Don't leave me out here. Don't leave me alone out here. Wow, look at his ass. And then he jumps through the window. Hunter Man was there, concocting one of his potions. You've intruded for the last time. That liquid, Blue Beetle, it may be dangerous. So she didn't listen to him. She came in through the front door. I don't know. Hurling the flask, the praying Mantis man laughed madly and was gone as the acrid smoke billowed and curled through the building. Blue Beetle breathed it and was afraid. Juanita almost fainted. Who knows what effect his potion will have? We'll soon find out. It's a rat! Looking the way a rat should look. I know. Which means that mad genius transformed us into rats. Don't you see? If that's a giant rat, then we're giant people. I don't want to be a giantess. Juan Veloz, he liked me the size that I was. He'll never marry a girl 10 times bigger than he is. Oh, you and you and Juan, huh? It just can't be. I mean, damn it, I thought I was going to get laid. I've been wasting my whole time here. Damn it. Anyway, then with relief, they saw that these were untreated normal specimens. Oh, God. Blue Beetle whirled, disregarding doors and windows because, this looks cooler, I guess. Angry now, impatient to end the irresponsible antics of the praying Mantis Man. Doubly angry that he's wasted his time on Juanita. So he's going to take it out on Mantis Man. Zzz, zzz, zzz. The Blue Beetle was traveling faster than sound, almost as fast as the speed of light. Sure, when he smashed into the Mantis Man. And then to patrol the garden of crawling death, where snakes, mosquitoes, bats, etc., and all needed stomping.
Suddenly, Blue Beetle, all the insects have become normal again.
Because Mantis Man's influence is gone, Juanita. When he ceased to exist, that's right, I killed him. His potions lost their power. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but I'm just going to go with it. After returning the girl to her station, her mystery solved, and the herds of sheep safe, Blue Beetle became Dr. Dan Garrett once more, and his fast twin jet arrowed eastward toward his own lab and a new adventure. Well, gee, that's great. That's wonderful. That's amazing. Hey, do you want to be secure in your future? An ICS high school diploma. So a GED? So, I don't know. You didn't get your high school diploma? Well, you send off for this crap, and they'll send you courses on this BS. And then you can say, hey, look, I know stuff about crap like this, so give me a job. It's guaranteed to work. They're going to love hearing that. So, see, this guy's about to get laid because she's so impressed that he has this, diploma. She's like, wow, a high school graduate. So, it's great. Of course, if it's a little harder for you to impress a woman, hypnotizer. Yes, you can learn a new discovery in hypnotism. Shows you how to hypnotize in 30 seconds. Yes, an amazing new method has been developed to bring on quick, easy induction to the hypnotic trance. Now, for the first time, you too can benefit from this recent discovery in hypnotic induction. Want to hypnotize your friends? And by friends, I mean women you have the hots for. Well, now you can. All you got to do is order this book, How to Hypnotize, and you can use it on her. Next thing you know, she'll be butt naked. It's just that simple. So, Bono Book Company, of course, Department HH-901. Well, it's in New York, whatever. Just screen cap this. And with your $1.98, and another $1.98, I guess. And now there you go. Well, the whole thing's supposed to be, I don't know, whatever. There's always a catch. But you're going to get this book, and then you're going to be able to mesmerize her and all that. And it's as simple as that. So there we go. Blue Beetle versus the praying Mantis Man. See, I spelled it like that because that's the way, isn't it? I don't know. I know a mantis does tend to put their paws together, so I guess that's what they mean, but they are predators to other bugs and stuff, aren't they? Huh. I remember there was a show, like, in the early 90s, and it was this guy, he was some sort of scientist, I forget what. Well, he got attacked by some criminals, and he ended up in a wheelchair afterwards. So he developed this exoskeleton that, enabled him not only to walk and function, but it also increased him to super strength. So he became the superhero Mantis. I don't know. I think it only did one season. He may have not even finished it. But anyway, there you go. See? That's, well, that's something that happened that had a Mantis man in that, too. They just called him Mantis. I think it was like the letters were supposed to stand for something or some crap like that. But they could have just called him Mantis Man. I mean, what other kind of mantis are there besides the praying mantis? So everyone's going to know you're trying to be like the praying mantis. So you call yourself Mantis Man. You know? I think that would work. Oh, well, now I got to figure out something else to read for next time on Mr. Nailsin Sunday Comics. All right. Well, there you have it. Blue Beetle. And, boy, isn't everything better now that Blue Beetle wasted his time on some hot Latina only to find she's dating someone else, you know. I mean, he could have lost his life to Mantis Man, but he didn't, so I guess it all worked out. I don't know. Let's see. Alexandria says, hi, Alexandria. Alexandria says, oh no, what will happen to the Blue Beetle? Well, he gets blue balls. That was a fart noise. I'm sure it was. Alexandria, I bet she does. Alexandria, he scrounged all that. Alexandria, the Blue Beetle cheesecake photo. Oh, yeah. The Auto Pen Administration would have welcomed them with open arms. Try an EU country. Weirdos. Alexandria, instead of using the door. Oh, yeah, he went through the window or something like that. Anyway, Alexandria, like you're not gaining weight when he married you. Well, yeah. Alexandria, where he doesn't get laid. Yeah, he didn't. But, you know, there's next issue. Maybe something will happen there. Alexandria, he's got a better chance than Blue Beetle, the guy with the diploma. Yeah. I mean, did you see the look in that chick's eyes? Oh, yeah. That's one happy dude there. It actually sounds familiar. Huh. Well, that's good to know. All right, let me see if I can get this to work. I'll read a couple of comic book news articles because it's supposed to be this comic book show. No, really. I'll put it. Oh, come on. Where is it? Oh, yeah. That'll do it. Let me see if it's showing up. Oh, yeah, it is. All right. Oh, no, not that. Anything but that. Why is it? Stop doing this. How the hell did it even do that? I don't even know. And I'm supposed to know these things. That thing's not even going to work because the sound isn't even in here. Anyway, I'll have to figure that out in a bit. So, DC delivers big news to retailers at Comic Pro 2026. So, there you go. They revealed plans for summer and fall 2026. Hey, that's this year. So, new Absolute Universe series announced. Oh, boy! DC Next Level expands with Teen Titans and Gotham faces Bad Seeds. So, more events. They're just about, well, I guess they've already ended KO. I haven't read the last one yet. I think that whole thing was stupid. You know, but that's what they do. So it's like, okay, hurry up and get it over. Oh, no, another one. Yeah. So, all right. So they were in Burbank, California in February. So DC thanked direct market comic book retailers for they gave them a good show. Anyway, what are they going to do? Well, they're going to give DC Absolute Universe expands with Green Arrow. So that's Absolute Green Arrow. And Catwoman, whom I've already met in the Absolute Batman series. So there you go. DC announced 2 new series set in the Absolute universe. Absolute Green Arrow by Pornsack. That's what it says. Pornsack Pitch a Tent? Or no, Pitch a Shoat? And Raphael Albuquerque launching in May, so not far away, you know. An Absolute Catwoman by Shay Grayson, Scott Snyder, and Bingle? Huh. Launching in June. Well, you would have thought that would be earlier. But anyway, both titles continue the imprint's mission to reimagine iconic DC characters in bold, continuity-free stories from top creators. Well, you mean they're continuity-free of the main DC universe continuity. Sure, which is changing all the time anyway, so I don't know. Who cares? But it's not continuity-free. It's going to be involved with the absolute continuity. So there's Catwoman with her bowling ball helmet mask. And then there's Green Arrow. He looks scary. So anyway, oh boy, and Next Level is their new overall, well, kind of an event, but a kind of an initiative. Like, what was the last one? I don't remember. Oh, All In. Yeah. So they had to slap All In on all the covers. Anyway, so Next Level will have Lobo #1. Hey, he's going to be in the Supergirl movie. Batwoman #1 again. So I wonder how many. Well, probably not a lot. Not as much as Captain Marvel over at Marvel Comics or Ms. Marvel, stuff like that. So this might be Batwoman's 3rd or 4th #1, so that's not too bad. Anyway, Deathstroke the Terminator #1. All will launch in March 18th. Wow, that's like a couple of days, Followed by the Fury of Firestorm #1 on April 8th, and Zatanna #1 on April 29th. So, boy, it's been a while since they had a Firestorm series. And it's been a while before they called it The Fury of Firestorm, which was, the original title and all. Anyway, DC then spotlighted 2 newly announced Next Level titles arriving this summer. Barbara Gordon, Breakout by Mariko Tamaki. Yeah, it's Mariko Tamaki. So really no hope for that one. And The Dead Man, as opposed to just Dead Man, by W. Maxwell Prince and Martin Marazzo. Yeah, I don't know. So Barbara Gordon is going to prison. So, maybe shower scenes and stuff. Anyway, retailers were also provided with a look at DC's upcoming slate of Next Level titles ahead of solicitation, including Legion of Superheroes, Doom Patrol, Jonah X, The Demon, and Batman, Shadow of the Bat. Yeah, you always got to throw Batman in there, Creative teams and launch dates will be announced soon, as soon as they hire them, Well, what else? Teen Titans launching this summer from Kyle Higgins and Danielle DiNucolo. I don't know. They did Power Rangers Shattered Grid. I don't know what that is. I know Power Rangers, but I don't really. Yeah, don't know. Anyway, Red Hood uncovers a network of missing powered teens and reluctantly joins forces with a new generation of plugged-in, hyper-capable young heroes to find them and expose the lie dividing their world. Well, here they are, a bunch of stupid slobs in god-awful clothing. And for some reason, Red Hood decides he's got to copy what they're doing. I don't know. Hey, that's Damian Wayne's girlfriend. And she's kind of in this thing. Whatever. That's the new Teen Titans. Great, huh? Anyway, DC closed its publishing announcements with a first look at Bad Seeds, a Gotham City event arriving in the third quarter of 2026. So the fall, I guess. Gotham City Police Commissioner Vandal Savage, yeah, they're still doing that crap, has declared war on the Bat family. You know, again. And flooded the streets with his private paramilitarized police army. So, like what he's been doing. Gotham's new mayor, Pamela Isley. Wait a minute, she's Poison Ivy. Oh, well, that explains Bad Seeds and vegetation and everything, you know. Anyway, deserted by her allies, both political and arcane, is about to make a last-ditch power play that will leave all of Gotham decimated by daylight. Huh? Well, what does she just rip the roofs off of all the buildings and houses? Anyway, these events converge in Bad Seeds, spanning a long, dark night in Gotham that threatens to turn the entire city into a primeval world of hostile plant life unlike anything on Earth for millennia. At a time when its greatest heroes are hunted and in hiding. Well, because of Vandal Savage wanting to hunt them down, but then all of a sudden, Poison Ivy just, I don't know, infests the whole city with vines and stuff. Well, what do they mean decimated by daylight? But it's going to be a long, dark night. No, it isn't. If it's just like blasted with the sun, that doesn't make any sense. I have no idea. Otherwise, you see all this imagery of vines everywhere. So, you know, she does her plant creatures again because I guess she's not polling well for her reelection, despite having been, you know, a psychotic murderer and absurd president and stuff. But somehow she ended up being mayor. So, you know, makes sense. And then, of course, you have Vandal Savage, who's been a villain for centuries, a couple of millennia even. Anyway, I don't know. I'm not all that hyped for much any of this. So it doesn't look that great to me, you know. So, well, let's take a closer look at Green Arrow. So there's Absolute Universe. See, there's his face. It looks like he's an alien now or something. So instead of a goatee, he's got some sort of alien chin or something. It's probably just a mask, you know, to make him look like a monster. So he's going more in the Batman direction. Anyway, Absolute Universe has become one of DC's most celebrated publishing lines, with titles such as, you know, Absolute Batman, Absolute Wonder Woman, Absolute Superman, Absolute Green Lantern, Absolute Flash, and Absolute Martian Manhunter, earning widespread critical acclaim and chart-topping sales. Out of all of them, Absolute Wonder Woman's the best. It's just the way it is. You know, Absolute Batman's the big star. That's the one making most of the money. But, and of course, the disgusting politics of the artist behind it really kicks you right out of the story. Early volumes continue to return to print as readership grows, and increased demand across the line has sets the stage for the next wave of DC's Absolute Universe launches. Well, the next wave arrives in May and June with Absolute Catwoman and Absolute Green Arrow. All right, so there's Catwoman with all the wealth, with all the gear, with all the skills. She is the absolute apex predator. So she's not a thief in this world. She kills. I don't know. Anyway, Selena Kyle has carved a good life for herself through her ingenuity and skills. She has become the great... Oh, she's a thief. She's still a thief. So, greatest thief the world has ever known, with high-tech gear and weaponry that, you know, she just found somewhere. There is no place too secure for Catwoman, but when someone from her past comes knocking at her door, everything she has built begins to collapse. To survive, Selena must unravel the mystery that takes her across the globe and so deep into the shadows of the absolute universe? Well, it's written by Shea Garrison and Scott Snyder with art by Bingle. Get it? It's a cat, series. So anyway, here's some art. It's not colored yet, but, looks like she's beating up a bunch of fake cat women, I guess. They're probably all trying to frame her for a crime she didn't commit. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, following our last appearance in Absolute Batman number 14, this new comic book series picks up the threads Scott Snyder and Nick Dragotta laid down in the main title, from the secrets of Selina's past to her elusive ties to Black Mask. Well, you can tell there's ties because her mask is very similar to the mask that Black Mask, gives to people. Well, I'm sure there's some sort of payment. Anyway, whatever. There you go. It's Catwoman. So now on to Absolute Green Arrow. Without the trick arrows, without the money, without mercy, what's left is the Absolute Hunter. Okay. Well, a serial killer is slaughtering corrupt billionaires. Well, since that is the ethic of Scott Snyder's Absolute Universe, then this is going to be the greatest hero of the Absolute Universe. Just kill rich people. Anyway, and the only clue to his identity is the green arrows protruding from the victims' bodies. Jeez. Anyway, Executive Protection Specialist Dina Lance, also known as Absolute Black Canary, well, not yet, but I guess she will be now, is assigned to uncover the murderer's identity as she investigates a list of suspects drawn from the ranks of DC's most dangerous archers. So there's more than one. Each one is uniquely connected to a recently murdered Oliver Queen. But hey, he's Green Arrow. But maybe not in this universe. Either that or he faked his death, Anyway, a deadly mystery unfolds in this urban horror reimagining of the Emerald Archer's mythos. Well, it's brought to life by Eisner Award winners Porn Sack, Pitch It Shote, and Raphael Albuquerque. So, there's some of the art. Looks like he carries a sword, too, so he's the green sword as well as the green arrow. So he's slicing up the guards, impaling this guy, and I don't know. Looks like he's getting ready to kill this guy who I'm guessing is a billionaire. And why is it poisoning him to make his face turn green? And I don't know. Well, he looks like he just crapped his pants, and I guess he should because, there's a murderer coming after him. Anyway, spinning out of the shocking events of absolute evil, this new comic book series brings slasher horror storytelling to the Absolute Universe, exploring Oliver Queen's past, where I thought he was dead, and the clues left behind in the wake of his murder. So maybe he was killed, but he came back as this, monster. Yeah. I don't know. So anyway, there's more to come. Oh boy, get ready. At the same time, DC All In continues its second. Oh, jeez. So you're still doing DC All In on top of Next Level. All right. Whatever. It is an interesting look, and there's some interesting aspects of Dina Lance investigating this mysterious Green Arrow. It's a different kind of approach to all of this. You think she'll fall in love with him? Provided that's just a mask and he doesn't look like that now. Like what? He came back from hell, to get revenge? I don't know. So he might be the better of the two, with Catwoman and Green Arrow. I don't know. I might check it out. I don't know. Well, we'll see. But anyway, there you go. Oh, boy, the excitement, the absolute excitement that surely surely you just can't begin to contain yourself over. You know it. You know it, I know it, we all know it, the American people know it. And, well, it's just bound to happen, you know? So that'll be cool and whatever. But, or not, you know, I mean, I might have to go and look at it and go, oh my God, this stinks, you know? Let's see. Well, there's, I read that one. Yeah. Why am I checking out my, oh, wait. You can't be seeing this. I got to turn off the, what do you call it? So now you're seeing my whole thing. No, come on. There it is. Yay. Yay. Good Lord. Yeah, Porn Sack. That's his name. Porn Sack. I don't know. Look, I didn't make it up. Yeah. That's the guy's name's Porn Sack. Hey, Porn Sack. You know, can I call you Porn or do you prefer Sack? Yeah. Anyway, it's just another reality that exists. Dumb as a box of rocks. Yeah, it'll run its course, and you know, I don't know. Alexander, wow, and they wonder why comic stores are going out of business. Yeah, it's So Poison Ivy, what the duck? Yeah, I don't know. She ran for mayor apparently and won. But you know, considering, you know, how New York City does and stuff, I guess it's possible, you know. Anyway, wow, who voted her in Gotham City is screwed. Well, of course, maybe she used her plant powers. You know, she has these pheromones and stuff, so everybody just fell in love with her and voted her in. Are vines a metaphor for communism? Might as well be. Alexander says, hi, Kronos, God Wizen. God Wizen says, hi back. A real cat fight, says Alexander Godroy. Did Paramount buy the comics? Zaslav did nothing to make that division profitable. Yeah, and they probably won't do much with it either. Perhaps outsource it and that sort of thing. They just want the IP to make mostly Batman movies and stuff. So yes, they do own the comic book company. I mean, not yet. The merger hasn't gone through, but when it does, then Paramount will own DC Comics. Alexander Green, the color of filthy money. Well, but it's also the color of money anyway. So now what do you do? You know, I don't know. Sussy Baka, I'm playing Lego Marvel superheroes. All right. So anyway, there you go. We sure learned a lot, huh? Blue Beetle sure knows how to waste his time. But look, you can understand why he tried, you know? I mean, I sure can. So, you know, there's that. That kind of makes sense, I guess. I don't know. Oh, well, let me see if I can get this little theme song thing to work, if it will show up. But it doesn't do any good to play it if it doesn't show me that. Oh, well, I guess I got to move it over. Come here. There. Now, there it is. Stupid crap. The things you got to do. Well, next time I'm just going to have to put that all the way in there. Where is it? You see, you got to do all this stuff. And then that. No, no. On. You got to be on. There you go. Now, all the way back.